Welcome to AER Int channel, and in this occasion, let's continue to learn together about surface modeling. This was how we left our sprayer model. We had the lower connector area, which was a revolve, and then we had this bulb, which was a loft. Next up, we are gonna make a handle and a nozzle, both using swept surfaces. Let's start a sketch on the front plane, and we'll draw a center line upwards from the origin. And then let's add 2 points using the point tool. One of them is on the center line and the other one is out here to the right somewhere. Then we'll get the Smart Dimension tool. And this first one is 230mm up from the origin. And then this next one is 240 up. And it's 72mm from the center line. So they should both be fixed like this. Then we'll get the spline tool, and we'll just draw a spline between those 2 points like this. We can then press escape to exit the spline tool, and then left click on the spline itself, and use these little handles to drag it around to give it a slight curve like this. Now if we don't see those handles, we might just need to turn them on. We can do this by clicking the options up here, and then in the box type spline. And we're looking for this option that controls whether we can see the spline handles. Just make sure that we have a check in this box, enable spline tangency and curvature handles, and then press OK. And when our sketch looks something like this, let's exit that sketch and start on the next one. So again, it's on the front plane. Again, we'll add 2 points in roughly this position. And then we'll get the Smart Dimension tool. And this one is 175mm upwards. It's 32 from the center line. And this one is 75mm from the center line. And it's 220mm upwards. Then again, get the spline tool. Join the two ends of those splines, then click on the spline itself and adjust the handle so we've got a bit of a curve, something like this, and try to make sure it's not too tightly curved near to the end of the spline, so it should be something like the video. These two splines will be the top and the bottom of our nozzle, and we now need to draw the actual cylinder profile, which will be the nozzle itself. To do this, first we need to add a new plane. To add this plane, let's first pre-select the front plane, so left click on it, and then go to Reference Geometry Plane. As we said in the last video, this is on the Surfaces tab, that is also on the Features tab as well. So it should have the front plane here for the first reference, and then for the second reference, click in this box, and then choose the endpoint of one of the splines, and then for the third reference, choose the endpoint of the other spline, and we should get a preview something like this. Press OK to add that plane, and then let's start a sketch on that plane. Then let's choose a center point circle, draw a circle roughly about here. The exact position isn't too important at the moment. Then we just need to connect that circle to the splines. So left click on the end of the top spline, hold down Ctrl and also select the circle, and then release Ctrl and press coincident. Then do the same on the bottom. So select the endpoint of the spline, hold down Ctrl, select the circle, and then release Ctrl and make those coincident. And we see the circle isn't quite centered on the splines there. So what I'm gonna do is select the center point of the circle, and then select the end of one of the splines, and just press vertical. And that should line the circle up, should make it fully defined, and we can exit that sketch. So now we can sort of see a wireframe view of what we're gonna do. We're gonna sweep that circle along those two splines, but it will follow those splines, so as it goes to the left, the circle will get larger. To do this, let's go to the Surfaces tab and choose Swept Surface. This is very similar again to the Swept Boss base, so we want to choose a sketch profile, and then for that profile, we'll choose that circle that we drew. And for the path, let's choose this top spline. So we can see we just sweep in that circle along that top spline. But actually we want to use the bottom spline as well. So to do that, we can expand this kite curve section, and then click in that box, and for the kite curve, let's choose that second spline. So we should have a preview something like this. If ours doesn't quite work, we might need to go out of the feature and then just adjust our spline so they don't have any really tight kinks in them, especially near to the ends. If you get really stuck, maybe we can try just deleting the spline and then redrawing it again, and try and copy a similar curve to what the video has. So the preview looks pretty cool, but before I press OK, I'm just gonna go down here to curvature display and then turn on the mesh preview, and I'm gonna increase the density so we can see exactly what's happening with this mesh. And as we zoom in, that all looks okay. We've got a nice smooth curve there. If we expand this option start and end tangency, if we had a different kind of end tangency, for example like path tangent, we might find that the end of our surface is all wrinkled like this, and we don't really want that. So I'm just gonna turn off all of this start and end tangency. And we've got a nice smooth curve there. Let's press OK and make that surface. So we've now created the nozzle, and next up we're gonna use a similar process to make a handle, but just use a bit more of a complex guide curve. So again, we'll start a sketch on the front plane. We're gonna go to a normal to view. I'm gonna get a point tool, and I'm gonna add 2 points again. This one should be out to the left hand side, so the lower one is 85mm upwards. It's 150 from origin to the left, and the upper one is 165mm up from the origin, and it's 120mm to the left. The top one is 120 and 165. I'll just move this around so it's a bit easier to see. And the bottom one is 150 and 85. We can then join these points, but this time instead of a spline, we'll just use a 3-point arc. So let's get the 3-point arc tool, join those two endpoints, and just make an arc that goes outwards, something like this. And get the Smart Dimension tool and set the radius 500mm. So that should now be fully defined, and it should look something like this. And this will be the back of the handle. We also need a similar sketch for the front of the handle. So let's exit this sketch. Start a new sketch also on the front plane. And the first thing to do is offset a line from this previous sketch that we just drew. So if you can't see that previous sketch, we might just need to go to the feature tree and click on that sketch and press show. Make sure that it's visible. So left click to select that first line from the previous sketch. And then from the sketch tab, let's choose offset entities. And let's offset 45mm inwards, like this. We also want the offset line to be a construction line. So before we press OK, down here under construction geometry, just make sure there's a tick in the offset geometry box, and then press OK. So we've got a construction line that's parallel to the first line, but 45mm away. If we have any problems with the offset line, sometimes the offset tool is a bit temperamental. So if we do have problems, first we can try converting that line from the previous sketch, and then we can offset from that converted line. Just make sure that both of the lines in our sketch are construction lines. So we've created that first offset line. Now we want another offset one as well. So let's select that new offset line that we made, the line on the right, and then we'll click offset entities again. This time we want 6mm, and we want to offset to the right hand side. And this should also be for construction. So when we press OK, it should be something like this. Next up, let's just get a normal construction line from the line tool. Click on the drop down next to the line tool, choose center line or construction line, and then let's start from the lower point of this first line here and go all the way down to the origin, like this. And now we just want to extend these two offset lines down so that they hit that new straight line that we just made. To do this, we can use the Trim Entities tool. This is on the Sketch tab, so select the Trim Entities tool. Make sure we are on Power Trim, and despite the name as well as trimming, this also allows us to extend lines. To do this, we can just left click and drag down from the bottom of the line. We can drag it through the straight line that we just drew, something like this, and do the same for the other one. And then when we're done, we can just left click and drag through the excess part just to trim away the excess at the bottom, and then we can close the trim tool. And we're gonna use these lines as guides to create the wavy front of the handle that we want. So what we're gonna do is grab the spline tool. We're going to start at this point where the inner offset line joins the straight line, and we're basically gonna draw a wavy line upwards that alternates between those two construction lines. So start down here, and we're gonna click 8 times, alternating between those two offset lines. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we should finish at that top point there. When we are done, we might just need to move a few of them around a little bit. I've picked up an automatic relation here, so I'm just gonna delete that and move this one upwards a little bit. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be something roughly like the video. The main one that's important is this first point down here, and if we had more time, we could maybe go in and individually dimension each of those points on the spline. But for now, just for the sake of the speed, I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then I'm just gonna exit that sketch. So we've now got the back of the hand grip, we've got the front of the hand grip, and next we need to draw the profile that we're gonna sweep along these two lines. Again, to do this similar to the nozzle, we need to add a new plane. So let's pre-select the front plane just by left clicking on it, and then go to reference geometry plane. So we've got front plane here as the first reference. For the second reference, I'm gonna choose the endpoint of this line. And then for the third reference, I'm gonna choose the start point of the spline down here. And we should get a preview something like this. Press OK to make that plane, and then start a sketch on that plane. The first thing we'll do is just add a center line between endpoints of the lines. And then we're going to draw the sweep profile. Let's get the arc tool. Let's get a 3-point arc, draw something roughly like this. We're gonna add dimensions and relation later, so it doesn't have to be exact at this stage. Let's just start on the left hand side here, finish on the right hand side, and the curve should be going in this direction. Something like this. And then we'll do a similar thing on the bottom, start on the left, finish on the right. The curve should be going in this direction. And we can now fully define these curves. So starting with the left hand, then let's right click on it and select the midpoint, then hold down Ctrl and select the start of that construction line, then release Ctrl and press coincident. Then next, select the left hand point of the arc, hold down Ctrl, select the right hand point of the arc, and keeping Ctrl held down, also select that center line, and then release Ctrl and press symmetric. So they should just center the arc onto that center line. And we'll do exactly the same down here. So right click on the arc, press select the midpoint, and then make that coincident with the endpoint of the construction line. And then select the two endpoints of the arc. Also select the center line, and then make those symmetric. And now we can use Smart Dimension. Let's make the width between these two endpoints on the left 22. Let's make the radius 12. And it should give us a shape something like that. For this one on the right hand side, let's make the width 25. Let's make the radius 13. So if I now go to a normal 2 view, to make things a bit clearer for us, we should have two fully defined arcs in that sketch. The left hand one is 22 wide, a radius of 12, and the right hand one is 25 wide with a radius of 13. You can then just join these arcs with a spline to close the profile. So let's get the spline tool, and let's just draw a spline between say these two open points. We can then exit the spline tool. Let's select the spline and one of the arcs just by holding down Ctrl and clicking on both of them, and then we'll make those tangent. Then we'll do the same thing with the other arc in the spline. That just gives a nice smooth join between the spline and the curve. And then for the second side we can just mirror it. So let's select the spline, let's also select the center line. Press mirror entities, that should mirror across. And we now have a closed profile there that we can use for the sweep. So we can exit that sketch. And similar to when we made the nozzle, we can sort of see we've got like a wireframe outline of what we're gonna do with this sweep. So we're gonna sweep the oval profile along that back line, but we're gonna get it to follow that wavy line at the front. It's the same process as when we made the nozzle. So let's go to the swipe surface tool. We want to choose a sketch profile. For the profile, we'll choose that closed profile that we just drew, the kind of oval shape. And then for the path, let's choose that line at the back, a kind of straighter line. Then for the guide curve, let's choose that wavy line at the front. And we should get something like this. If we don't get the preview, I will go back and check the sketches for both the path and the guide curve. In particular with the wavy guide curve, make sure we haven't got any really tight kinks on the spline there, and make sure it doesn't self-intersect anywhere, so it doesn't overlap itself anyway. When we were actually making this example for the first time, we couldn't get it to work for the first time either, so I just had to delete the spline sketch and make a new one. So this tool can be a bit finicky if it can't quite follow the guide curves correctly, but as we can see, it can give pretty powerful results, so it can be very useful. When we're happy, press OK. And we've now created the hand grip shape. And we can see it's quite a complex shape. It would be pretty hard to make that with solid modeling. So we've now created the nozzle, the handle, the bulb, and the connector area at the bottom. To recap this video, we made two different sweeps. The nozzle was a bit simpler, but they both followed the same principle. Basically, we swept a closed profile, which was that circle along a path. But we also used the guide curve to adjust the shape of that profile as it moves along the path. And then with the handle again, we swept a closed profile along a path. But we had a bit more of a complex guide curve at the front there. In the next video, we'll start to look at joining these different surfaces together using more complex lofts, and we'll look at how we can split up the surfaces to make them easier to work with. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like. I hope it can be a little helpful and useful.